is David Machado from PT Golden Visa. It's a pleasure to be here today to explain you the Portuguese Golden Visa program. It's an opportunity for most of the investors to not only to find great deals and a great opportunity to invest overseas, as it is an opportunity to get residence permit and citizenship. So I'm going to go through several details in order to be able to explain. My contacts are here, but we also have a booth over there, so after, if you want to pass by and ask more questions, feel free. So Portugal is a country in the western of Europe. It's between America and Europe. So basically, we are located at the edge, so we have a long coast of line of ocean. And for those who don't know, never been to Portugal, we invite you to go. It's a very beautiful place. It's also in the bridge between Africa, and also we are a connection bridge to South America, where we have a lot of ties from our ex-colonies experiences. Population is 10 million euro. Our main language is Portuguese, but our first foreign language is English. English is widely spoken within all the countries, so if you happen to be in Portugal and speak English, most likely you won't have any issue. It's a very safe country, very good quality of life, very good weather. We have euro as currency, so a pretty much stable economy. We are within the center of Europe. We basically belong to the oldest countries of the European Union, so we've been in place with all the regulations and standards and everything from very early beginning of the constitution of the European Union. So basically, our infrastructure are very strong. Our hospitals, schools, universities, everything has been made in the past, let's say, 30, 40 years. So everything is there in place. So, as you can see, we've been considered to be one of the best destinations for tourism. Lisbon is one of the best destinations for city break trips. Algarve is one of the areas where we have beach holidays and golf courses. And we also consider to be the #1 world producer for cork. We have a lot of injection molding. Those are sectors which have been traditionally famous from Portugal. Before, we used to be famous for home textiles, footwear. These days it's more about technology and digital products. Things are changing, but overall those are probably things you never heard about Portugal, but this is where we are good at. I'm sure you've heard already that we're very famous on football sites. So our famous Portuguese guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, is doing a great job for us to promote our country. And the reason why we are here is why Portugal? Why should you do Portugal? It's one of the safest countries. It's a country where the tourism is growing very fast. It's affordable cost of living. It's 290 days of sun per year. I would say after people realize that life is not only about work, life is also about enjoying and having good quality of life. Portugal became one of the main countries in the world which have the criteria that people are searching for. So people want to work, people can work these days from home, and if they can work from home, they can work from Portugal. Portugal is probably one of the best top places in the world to work from home. So it's an easy place for cosmopolitan people, for those who have been in Portugal, will speak for themselves. I'm Portuguese, I'm a bit biased to talk, but when you experience being in Portugal around and the way people treat you, the way people look at you, and the way you feel comfortable, that's a bit of the difference that we make. And that's very difficult to find all across many countries because people like to protect their assets, but we Portuguese, we're quite open. We've been traveling all over the world in the 1500s, so we are ready to receive people from all the jurisdictions. So we had contacts with Asia, we had contacts with America, we had contacts with Africa. So for those people can come from any jurisdiction, we treat people like people, and we're quite pleasant to everyone. So, in terms of investment, in order to qualify for this program, it starts at the bottom line of the 280,000 euros in real estate. You can get benefits such as live, work, study, you can enjoy free education, you can enjoy free health care, you basically can have access to the 26 Schengen countries without restrictions, you can incorporate the business, you can do business across all Europe. So you get documentation which allows you to be treated like a local citizen. The only difference between a residence card holder and a citizen is that you cannot vote for the president. Everything else you are treated like a citizen. And this is why this program is becoming quite strong and quite popular, is that it allows you to collect the benefits with a minimum stay required of 14 days every 2 years. So 14 days every 2 years means two things very important. One is that you don't have to migrate immediately. The second is you don't have to migrate at all, and basically you can continue your lives as you have it. You can continue to be successful. You have the ability to move whenever you want, but you also have the ability to go to Europe without restrictions, without 90 days restrictions, without having to get a Schengen visa and waste 2 months of your time. All these benefits that for those who can afford to have an investment in Portugal, and for those who can dispose of that amount of cash to put in a profitable investment with returns on investment in Portugal, is also a massive return by receiving a residence card, by having access to free education, free health care, and by unlocking the future of your next generations. By after 5 years, you're also able to apply for permanent residence or citizenship. So applying for citizenship in some cases in Indian culture is not the main objective because of the lack of dual citizenship in India. But these days everyone is concerned, so having the ability to ask for citizenship anytime you decide, it's a power that everyone wants to have. So it's not only that you want to change your nationality, but you may want one day. So that day, if it's just at the call from your side, it's quite important to enroll the program, have those benefits done, so after 5 years you can either become a permanent resident or a citizen, and you can be sure that you have access to all free education, free health care. Your kids can enjoy to study in Europe, your kids can enjoy to work after they complete the studies outside of India. And just to explain, because we're already at the end of 2022, but because the rules last year were quite different than they are today. So just to explain for people not to get confused, we used to be able to invest in any kind of properties. From the beginning of this year, the government had made a change in the program that restricts the investors to invest in residential properties in the coastal areas, which means we still have the same categories as we had before of investment. So you can invest minimum 500,000 euros with any type of property, exception for residential properties in the coastal areas. So before we didn't have this restriction of residential properties in the coastal areas. From the beginning of the year we are running with that restriction, but we still have quite interesting investments to do because we're diverting opportunities to go to opportunities a bit more inland the country. And those are the areas where the price has more room to appreciate, so capital appreciation in those places is much higher. Alternative to the 500,000 euros that you can do as a minimum investment to qualify with any type of assets. In Portugal, you have 350,000 euros if you invest in properties more than 30 years old with refurbishment. In some cases, the properties can be also new as long as they are refurbishment in refurbishment areas designated by Portugal. So, alternative to 350,000 euros. If we go for inland areas where the density of population is less than 100 citizens per square kilometer, then basically we have 20% discount in these two options, and the bottom becomes 280,000 euros. What we can buy with 280,000 euros, we will go to see a little bit more forward. If you don't like to invest in real estate, you also have the ability to invest in a mutual fund. It's a Portuguese fund that capitalizes Portuguese companies, and the minimum investment is 500,000 euros. So, in resume, 500,000 euros option, you can invest in any type of properties, exception for residential properties in the coastal areas. 350,000 euros, you can invest in properties more than 30 years old with refurbishment. If you go for low density areas, the minimum drops to 280,000 euros. So the bottom line of investment that you can accomplish is 280,000 euros. For those who are worried about the amount of funds that you can wire out of India and the restrictions of foreign currency that you have, mostly the focus is 280,000 euros or 350,000 euros because of the restrictions of sending the money outside of India. And if you decide that you want to have an investment fund, you also have this option of 500,000 euros in a qualified investment fund. This is an example of a 280,000 euros that we are selling these days. It's a couple of examples. So basically, those are projects which are brand new buildings where they previously were old buildings. So they qualify under the lowest scheme of 280,000 euros. You can have a 3-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom apartment in one of these compounds. This is brand new developments. This is heart of the city centers, places where you can rent a property long-term rental, places where you can rent a property short-term rental. And basically, we try to maximize the returns by choosing the location to be as more population as possible, as more central as possible, because our criteria to identify the properties for you is to be easy to rent out and to be easy to resell. Alternative to the 280,000, you can invest in a 350,000 euros option. So basically, as an example, we brought you a hotel apartments in Madeira Island. This is a very touristic spot of Portugal also. And you can have a freehold title in a hotel apartment where Cristiano Ronaldo is from, close to his museum and his hotel also. And this is in front of the ocean line, a hotel with indoor swimming pool, outdoor swimming pool, tennis courts, co-works, sharing space, all the facilities to attract the digital nomads, to attract the retired people that travel long periods of time during the whole year. Madeira itself has a very high occupancy rate during the whole year in the touristic side. It's about 80%, which is very impressive. And it's a place where we can have a good weather all year round. It's about 28 degrees continuously. So the advantage of this property that I put over here on the slide is that you can have rental guarantees from the hotel management. So the hotel pays 5% a year and already signs a contract of 8 years. So it's the guarantee that you're going to have returns. And at the same time, the price that we're buying the property is pretty much below the market value. So we do identify here opportunity for very high capital appreciation. In alternative to this that I brought you on the slide, we also focus on commercial spaces in Lisbon. So we can have office spaces and shops which are located in the city center of the capital. And those are places which are between 50-70 square meters, but things that we can rent out quite easily and that you can also expect to have a stable investment. If you invest in the fund, basically we have an investment fund identified as one of the safest ones because of the exit strategy to be pretty clear. The projects are invested for a period of 3 years. The exit is always in place, so they keep rotating the capital so that you have the guarantee to be able to refund you back on your investment. This fund is a 20 million euro size fund, invests in Portuguese companies, mostly backed up by real estate assets, so that they have low risk. The idea of the funds, when you apply for the Golden Visa, is that you have a stable fund that does not disappear, because the goal for most of the investors is to have the residence card and the citizenship. So we have to be sure that the fund is there for at least 5 years. But besides being collecting the benefits with the fund, it's an investment. So we have to be careful with the investments, and we always choose opportunities which we are very unlikely to have issues. So this fund is also no leverage, so that it does not get overexposed. And why should you do business with PT Golden Visa? PT Golden Visa is a specific concept of a one-stop shop. So basically, we tackle the clients in a way that we don't expect any of our clients to take care of anything that happens in Portugal. So we're ready to take care of everything, from identifying the properties, opening bank accounts, do the legal service, do the property management, do the insurances, tax filing. So we secure everything from the beginning to the end, because at the end of the day, the majority of our clients don't have intentions to relocate to Portugal immediately. So we know there are difficulties to understand the laws, difficulties to understand the languages. So we take care of absolutely everything that happens in Portugal. That's our market proposal. which has been distinguishing us from the majority of the players in the market. And the way we structure is we have a real estate company with a real estate license where we provide the investment opportunities. Then we have law firms which provide us backup with specific teams allocated to our company to do the due diligence on the properties and the immigration side of the application. And then we have property management companies 100% owned by us, where we do the short-term rental and the long-term rental with over 1,200 listings. Yeah, and basically the concept that we bring to the investors is to be able to provide you opportunities of long-term perspective, because we are with you from the beginning and we're going to be with you later stage. We always make sure that you don't have problems, because your problems become our problems. So the idea here is that we bring you profitable investments. If besides doing golden visa investments, you want to do other investments, company formation, doing all sorts of businesses, we help you out. The idea here is we're fully backed up in Portugal in all the directions. We're ready to do this every day, so we can give you the full support. Our company is in the market since the beginning of the golden visa. We're quite expert on this. We do this every day, so you can visit us in Lisbon anytime you decide. Just book your trip. We have office in Dubai and we have office in Mumbai. So I'm happy to assist you, to give you the first opportunities of investment. You can also invest remotely by opening a bank account, everything remotely, and choosing the assets on a virtual tour or a video. If you decide that you prefer to see by yourself, you just come to us. Normally we tour you around for 2-3 days to see the best opportunities, to explain you how the market works. All our team is quite professional. They understand about the dynamics of the market, the capital appreciation. And at the end of the day, we give you advice about how you can make money in Portugal. The choice is yours. Most of the time, you will be looking for an investment in the same perspective as us. But in case you are looking for a property for yourself to enjoy, we also can provide you those solutions. So feel free to ask me any question. I mean, most probably it's very hard to make a question that I've never replied before. We are a Portuguese company. We pretty much look in a long-term perspective. The majority of the projects we put on the table, they are completed. They are ready to be transferred. We don't like ourselves to take too many risks, because as I was trying to explain you, your risks are our risks, and we don't want you to go for them, because we would have to take care of them, and we don't want to waste our time. So pretty much happy to explain you everything in detail whenever you want to have it. I'm very happy to be here. It was a pleasure to introduce you. Thank you.